Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our first February or second February Q&A. We are going to go over Pisces season today. I'm so excited. I apologize if you can hear the wind. I'm a few minutes late on today's call because we have crazy wind right now. And there was my my giant propane heater outside was blowing over. So I had to go take care of that for a second. But today we're going to get into Pisces season. And if you are on the Haven emails, you just got this morning our Pisces season introduction email with our archetypes. I will not spoil them for you. Go read your email. If you didn't get it, go sign up. I'll put a link in the description box when the replay is posted, and I'll resend that out in a couple of days so that you don't miss it. Okay, but today we are going to be talking about Pisces season, and I'm going to do our reading like I do every single zodiac season. And as the sun, yesterday we had a really big, speaking of the sun, so I split the deck at the sun. We had a giant movement in the planets yesterday. So if you're watching this in live time, it's February 18th. It's Wednesday morning. Holy mother of God, the wind. That is crazy. I don't know if y'all can hear that. It's wild outside. Um, but we had the beginning of the Lunar New Year. We had Mardi Gras yesterday. Uh we had a solar eclipse yesterday. We had Fat Tuesday. We had a new moon with the last day of Aquarius season. We had the first day of the new lunar year. Like lots of change, lots of trajectory change, right? And if you're following along with our zodiac themes, we are moving from Aquarius, which everybody thinks is a water sign. It's not, it's an air sign. We're moving from the water bearer, from Aquarius into Pisces season, into dreamy, mystical, intuitive, highly sensitive Pisces. So, and Pisces is my natal sun. I have a Pisces birthday. So when you are entering the season and you're feeling all the things, if you're not a witch or you're not feeling, you don't consider yourself super sensitive, that volume is going to get turned up. The veil between the worlds is getting thin, which is witch speak for you have a quicker Wi-Fi connection to the internet, right? You have a quicker spirit connection to the ether. You are on fiber instead of cable, okay? Like you literally can connect really, maybe not really easily depending on who you are, but you can connect faster, you can get more information, you can get the information faster. When in the times of the year when the veil is thin, like Samhain, Beltane, May is Beltane. May 1st is Beltane. Samhain is Halloween for those of y'all that don't use the pagan names. Um, those two times of year, the veil gets really thin automatically just because of the time of year, the transition in liminal states. But then yesterday, when we have a new moon and a transition from an air sign to a water sign, we have a solar eclipse, we have Fat Tuesday, and we have the Lunar New Year. There's a lot going on. Okay, there's a lot going on. All of that contributes to the veil being really thin. So I would not be surprised if you are somebody who doesn't normally have massive sensitivity, and the next 4 weeks until the 20th of March, when we get into Aries season, that's the next time that the sun moves. Um, Now through the 20th of March, I would expect your sensitivity dial to be up, your emotions dial to be up, your tears to be free flowing. Okay. Welcome to Pisces season. It is a thing. We cry all the time here. Welcome. Today I'm reading from the Zodiac Tarot. Let me show you the cover of this box. And it doesn't have an artist name on here, so forgive me because I don't know who made this deck, but this is what it looks like. We'll read from that deck. I will show you the others that I may or may not end up reading from. I don't know. Sometimes Spirit tells me to change decks. This is the Moon Witch deck that we have available too, which is made by Cosmic Valeria. We have a Lenormand deck, which is a different style of tarot deck. by the Intuit Oracle Company. They have this one and they have another one that I have that I also love. I just pulled this one because it's zodiac themed. Okay. We have the Office Tarot, which is from my personal stash. I love that deck. And then I also grabbed just a Rider-Waite. Happens to be the holographic version, but standard Rider-Waite imagery. So we'll see what pops out, what shows up. Let me take a second and get grounded. If you're watching this with me live or you're watching on the replay, just take a second and become aware of your body. This is a collective reading for the next 4 weeks between February 18th and March 19th, which is the last day of Pisces season. We have, as you're becoming aware of your body, I will tell you that we have a lunar eclipse coming up on March 3rd with the full moon in Virgo. That's the worm moon. It is a lunar eclipse that we will be able to see. And there's some big things coming up for everybody in this collective going into Pisces season. So being aware of your body, especially as we're in between these eclipses. We also have starting the 25th of February through the 20th of March, 21st of March, somewhere in there, is Mercury retrograde. Okay, so we've got Mercury retro coming. We've got another eclipse coming with the full moon. We've got Pisces with its sensitivity dial already turned all the way up. It's going to be really important for you to pay attention to your body. Okay, do yoga, be embodied, stay in your body. Be careful with what you say. Be careful when making decisions that you consult your intuition. Okay. Don't let yourself be led astray because you are highly sensitive and your body is tapped out. Okay. There's a little message from spirit. All right. This is a collective reading. Take what fits, leave what does not. Not everything is going to fit for everybody. This is intended to be a focus on the next 3 or 4 weeks. Really, if you're watching this in live time, it's just about 4 weeks that we are in Pisces season. Pisces is a water sign along with Cancer and Scorpio. Okay, Cancer's midsummer, Scorpio is the end of October, early November. Okay, so we've got water sign energy here. What's interesting is I just pulled 3 cards, only one of which is really a water card. This is wild. So the first one that I'm pulling for an overview of Pisces season for the collective is this Ace of Swords. This tells me that there's going to be some truth coming out, okay? There's going to be some big truth coming out. And you can see here, we've got some definite swords energy. We've got some breakthrough energy. I love this depiction of this card because we've got the birds here. We've got plants that are wilting. We've got this hand. I love this cosmic eye on this sword here. If you are new to tarot, these aces are what is the first card in the minor suit of every suit. There's an Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. This really talks about a breakthrough in truth. When I teach this class in my awakening class, which is our tarot certification at the Haven School of Witchcraft, I teach this as truth showing up, right? A breakthrough. You can't unsee it once you see it. It shows up. It's that aha moment. So I feel like Pisces season tends to bring its own aha moments because it's so intuitive. It's so see through the veil, right? It's just that time of year. And then we've also, like I prefaced, we've got all of those other astrological and astronomical things going on. You need to be on the lookout for truth. You need to be on the lookout for breakthroughs, really. And when I teach swords, I teach it that it's the neck up. This is communication, it's truth, but it's also intellect. Like, I feel like there's some things that you're going to really be able to become aware of. There's some things that you're going to see. And it's interesting, like this depiction of this being shrouded in smoke. I feel like there's some things that you have been really unclear about, right? There's been some things that you can see the Aquarius symbol up here on the top right here. That's our water bearer symbol, right? There's been some things that you have been struggling to see. This is an air card. This other symbol over here is Libra with the scales. those are both air signs, right? And swords is the suit of air. There's a lot of change coming. Whatever revelation that you have been having or about to have is going to be one that's going to change a lot of things. What I say when I teach this is that you can't unsee the truth, right? This is that moment of a positive breakthrough. It may not be positive energy, but you're going to have that breakthrough and you're not going to second guess it. This season is coming with a lot of information. That being said, with the moon reversed here, let's see if you can get to focus. Okay. Here we have a Pisces card. Okay. This is a symbol for Pisces down here. We've got the moon. The moon is when it's in its reversal state. This is a breaking through of illusion. These go really well together, friends. This is something that has been eluding you, that has been an illusion, that has been like, I almost feel like you've been chasing clarity, chasing clarity, chasing clarity, wanting answers, wanting answers, wanting answers, wanting answers. And you've been doing it so much that it's like, it almost feels like it's been impossible. That's changing. That's changing. And look, we have the two cute, like the little fish here. If you're familiar with Pisces season, that's very much Pisces energy. When the moon is reversed, we're talking about a breakthrough in seeing what is real, right? We talk about seeing the dark side of the moon. We're in a current new moon right now. Having this beginning energy, this breakthrough energy, the first day of Pisces with this Ace of Swords and this moon reversed, this season's bringing some fucking clarity, right? Yesterday was the first day of the year of the fire horse. A lot of people have felt this volatility as we go from the year of the snake to the year of the fire horse. We are experiencing things in ways that we haven't. We're hearing things in ways that we haven't. We're getting downloads in ways that we haven't. That's going to be a little bit disconcerting. And Knight of Wands reversed, you might not know what to do with that, right? You're going to be a little bit out of your element with the amount of energy that is present because of all the shit going on, right? Just the next 4 weeks, like we've got astral things, we've got astronomical things, we've got astrological things, we've got intuition, we've got sensitivity, we've got it's a water sign. Everybody and their mama is going to be in their feelings, right? That may be something that you're not excited about. This is a fire card, okay? This triangle that is right size up when the card is upright is a fire sign. That's the alchemical sign for fire. Wands are fire cards. Um, you are not going to know what to do with this, and that's okay. I don't think that, and spirit is chiming saying, I don't think that this is, yeah, this is your guides, really, your guides and my guides. For the collective, it's not about knowing what to do with it. It's not about getting the breakthrough and getting the clarity and having the steps. It's really about getting the breakthrough and getting the clarity and being able to sit in that. It is not about, you're not going to get the breakthrough and the plan. You're not going to get the breakthrough and the path. You're not going to get the earth energy. You're not going to get the steps. And there's also a moment where it's like you're not able to know what to do with this. You're not able to know your next steps. That's on purpose. You're not going to be able to know or plan or prepare for those intuitive nudges, and that's part of the game, right? That's part of how it's designed to be, because they meaning your team, your guides, are keeping you on your toes with this. They want you to be able to have the experience of your intuition whispering when you don't expect it. Because anybody who's training their intuition, working on listening to their guides, knows that if you can anticipate everything all the time, you're not growing, right? Your guides and mine, they all love to keep us on a little bit of a roller coaster sometimes, right? That's part of the beauty of trusting your intuition. You're going to get things that don't make sense. You're going to get downloads that don't seem to fit. You're going to get I see you picking out like details and getting like things that you're going to be able to string together with this Ace of Swords. You're going to have that clarity, being able to see that dark side of the moon, being able to swim in the depths, Pisces season. You are not supposed to know what to do with it. Your job is to receive the information, to write it the fuck down. Please, for the love of God, document. If you're a student at Haven, you know that my favorite D word is document. Write it down, okay? You need to you need to document the insights that you get. If you are a student at Haven, I'm meeting with our admin team this evening to talk about a place, a digital place for you to document your insights. So if you are a student at Haven, that will be coming. Little Easter egg for you. If you're not a student at Haven, document your messages from spirit inside your book of shadows or your grimoire, right? Write things down. Do not count on your memory to keep track of all the shit that spirit says, especially not in Pisces season, friends, because they're so they're so chatty. They're so chatty and they're not going to stop. It's really important for you to make sure that you're keeping track of the things that spirit's saying, because you're not supposed to know what to do with them. You're supposed to write them down. Don't look for the the plan. Don't look for the steps. Don't look. You're literally, your job is just to receive. You're working on your ability to channel. You're working on your ability to hear, to feel, to command energy, to command spirit. That's what this is about, not you knowing what to do with it other than write it down. The doing will make sense. The resources, the time that you devote, the next steps, all of that path will be laid out. Um, but not yet. Don't look for the path. Don't discount something that doesn't come with the next step, because you're gonna frustrate yourself. That's not the point. Okay. Overview for Pisces season. What kind of challenges can we expect, Pisces, during Pisces season for the collective? What kind of challenges do we need to be able to anticipate? Six of Cups. Okay, yeah, so there's going to be some nostalgia, right? And the world reversed. Okay. Not bad, not bad challenges in the Chariot reverse. Okay, so looking at this, y'all, when I see yeah, when I see, let me show you the Six of Cups. This is a card of nostalgia. Okay, cups, remember, are emotions cards. Can you focus? There we go. Cups are emotions cards. So we have the sun here at the top. Whoops, this part, right? And then over on the other side, we've got our Scorpio right here. Scorpio is another water sign. This is a card of nostalgia. This is a card of, there's a potential reattachment and a connection here. It's funny with Mercury retrograde. I actually feel like this is an X. There's somebody that's going to want more of your time and attention. Cups are where we get attachment. Cups are where we find a lot of relational, emotional energy. Not necessarily like attachment in the tangible perspective. That would be more pentacles. This is like, I feel like someone is going to resurface from your past. Someone is gonna want to be in your vibe. It may or may not be romantic. I do feel like for some of you this is romantic. You're being called to remember that things end for a reason. Okay, things end for a reason. I feel the next one is the world here, the world reversed. Oops, can you focus? So things end for a reason. When this person resurfaces, this is a specific challenge that's coming up. There's a person from your past that's going to resurface. I need you to remember, says Spirit, that things ended for a reason and that you need to slow the fuck down before you make decisions. Okay. With the Chariot reversed here, we've got Cancer. Okay. This is the Cancer symbol down here. Cancer is the other water sign. So if you're tracking, right, we have both of our other water signs represented here with Scorpio and with Cancer. And then we've got the world in the middle. You with some very serious Saturn energy here with the world. Saturn has boundaries. Okay. I want you to remember that things ended for a reason. This person's going to come to you and they're going to inspire you to look at the good times. You know, like when you remember all the positive memories with your ex and you're like, oh my God, but we did have some good times. And those of us who are Pisces, right? Speaking to my own team here, we can romanticize the shit out of an ex. Oh, well, we had really good times, or remember all these good memories, and remember, right? We get in our feels, the A Pisces season. This person that's approaching you, that's from your past, is going to try to get you to live there. They're going to try to get you to focus on the positives, focus on the good memories, focus on the only the happies, right? But I'm telling you that that is not representative of your relationship. Things ended for a reason. I'm not telling you, Spirit's not telling you to get back in or to say yes or no. That's not what this is about. What they're telling you is to be on the lookout for this person to resurface, especially with Mercury retrograde showing up. 25th of February is when Merc goes retro. That is not, people give Merc retro a bad rep, right? It's not a time for, yes, technology can get funky. Yes, communication can get weird. It is one of those times to review, right? Mercury handles things like communication, mentality. It's very throat chakra energy, right? So look for those out. For them, it'd be outgoing. For you, it'd be incoming messages from this person from your past before you decide to rush into anything, because they are telling you to slow down. They're not saying no, but they're saying this is going to come in. Remember why things ended. Remember why things ended, right? It doesn't mean that you can't restart them. It doesn't mean that they have to stay ended, but do not be fooled by the rose colored glasses that this person wants to bring to you. They're coming with, sun energy. They're coming with illumination, and they only want to be particular about the parts that they illuminate. That's not fair to you, right? So make sure that you're thinking with your, not just your emotions, right? Make sure you're following strategy and authority. If you know human design or you're a Haven student, make aligned decisions. Aligned decisions do not come from your brain. No one is aligned when they make decisions from their brain. If you don't believe me, look at the last decisions that your brain has made. See how well those are going for you. Respectfully, okay? We need to make decisions in alignment with our bodies, in alignment with our wiring. It's really, really important for you to be able to remember that when this person shows up. And they're telling, they are saying slow down. They're not saying no. They're saying be careful when you make a decision. Where'd that go? Be careful when you make a decision as to how you proceed with this person, right? Be careful, because I do feel like, let's see what Spirit says. I do feel like there's going to be an offer. Yeah, they can't take care of you the way that you want. They can't take care of you the way that you want. And honestly, if you're going to commit to taking care of yourself, which Empress energy is, she's a Venus card, right? Can you see the Venus symbol here on the top? Gorgeous. She's a Venus symbol. So this is definitely love energy, right? This is romantic energy, but really, are you loving yourself when you're engaging with this person? As this person from your past shows up, because remember, I ask about challenges. This person shows up. Your challenge here is, yes, to remember why things ended, and also to give a really fucking good look, a hard look at how they either allow you or prevent you from feeling met, nourished, able to create the things that you want. Are they somebody that adds to your life? Do they co-sign your self-care, or do they drain your tanks? Some of y'all are hanging out with people that drain your tanks, or this is the person that drains your tanks, but you get caught in your emos and you're like, oh, but I loved them, or but we had good memories, or but we spent so much time together. I don't care how much time you spend together. If they're not good for you, why are we continuing to spend more time with them when we know we're not like in alignment? That's kind of the vibe Spirit's getting. Like, if you don't want them playing in your garden, take that however it's meant to resonate. Okay, if you don't want them playing in your garden, don't let them in your garden. Don't waste, and it's not a waste, but don't spend the mental energy, the emotional energy reviewing the nostalgia of all the good times if you also know that they are not good for you. Pisces season is asking you to pay attention, right? That breakthrough is coming. Maybe this is your breakthrough. This is definitely the challenge, but the breakthrough could have something to do with, like, I am not going to only live in a fantasy land or romanticize a pattern that's ready to go. We talked about that with Aquarius season, right? When we're talking about being highly sensitive, being the mystic, being the highly sensitive Pisces season, we're living in that. You have to be really careful to not let the ocean run away with you. Okay. You have to be really careful to keep your feet in the sand, keep your feet rooted, so that when those waves come, you stay in the same place. You don't get sucked out to sea. Right. All right. Let's see. Are there other challenges? Spirit says yes. What other challenges? other than this resurfacing person can we expect in Pisces season for the collective? Challenges for the collective spirit in Pisces season. We've got the Eight of Cups reversed. Okay, so you are moving on from crisis, my love, except it's been kind of, oh yeah, the Emperor reversed. My goodness gracious. Six of Pentacles. Okay. And the Ace of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, with the Eight of Cups reversed here, you're not letting yourself move on from a crisis. Something is keeping you stuck. And I feel like you're going to become forefront with those emotions here in Pisces season. You're not going to be able to not look at them anymore. Unfortunately, like that's just how this is going to go. And you know, Eight of Cups is a Pisces card. Eight of Cups is also a Saturn card. So this is a boundaries with our emotions, right? We love that. This is who are you letting live rent free in your head? I'm covering up the the Saturn. Who are you letting live rent free in your head? Who are you letting live rent free in your psyche? Who are you letting live rent free in your emotions, right? Because with the Emperor reversed here, this is an Aries card, fire card, right? We're having a lack of boundaries. This directly relates to the last spread when I pulled the Empress, because even though we're talking about potentially we're talking about two different challenges, maybe this person is the person that you need to move on from. Maybe this is the crisis that you're ready to finally let yourself get the fuck away from. You're going to have to hold the container, my love. I don't know if you're somebody, if this resonates, take it. It's definitely for someone. If this doesn't resonate, leave it. But the person that needs to hear this, the people that need to hear this, you have been outsourcing your boundaries. You have been doing the thing where you're like, why does this happen to me? And why are these people fucking with me? And let me turn this on Do Not Disturb because we are getting interrupted and I do not like it. There we go. You are somebody who is outsourcing your boundaries. You will get in relationships, or you'll get in, and I'm using that word like not only to mean the romantic sense, but you'll get into partnerships, you'll get into working spaces, you'll get into friendships, coworkers, whatever. And you are in practice of saying, oh, well, they're just an a-hole, or they're just, it's their problem, or they're immature, or they. We have to take ownership of the role that we play in our own suffering. Period. End of story. And so with the Emperor reverse, you have to hold your own boundaries here. This is an Aries card. Okay. My younger brother is an Aries. Aries are quick. They're fire, 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 fire. This is also a containment, right? If we let everybody have uninterrupted access to us, if we let everybody have uninterrupted access to our emotions, we will spread ourselves way too thin. And then you're burning the candle from both ends. And what ends up happening is you don't sleep well. You get snippy at work. You can't remember your dreams. You don't hear your intuition. You are groggy. You snap at your team or snap at your kids. You end up losing your social circle. Like it will just fucking spiral if you don't start to let yourself let go of this. So there's whatever crisis that is trying to be out the fucking door, and you're gripping it because you're holding on to the fact that it's someone else's fault. You can flip that energy by looking at the parts of it that you can own. You are continuing to allow that to run rent free in your brain. You're continuing to allow that crisis to ruminate and oscillate in your brain. With the Six of Pentacles upright here, this is a card of generosity, right? This is also a card of attachment. I feel like and we've got the Moon and Taurus here, right? Can you see that at the top? So when we're looking at this, I feel like there's this same spread, right? There's this crisis that you are attached to because of what it gives you. What does it give you to identify with this crisis, right? If you're always the person that gets cheated on, you're always the person that, right? Or you're always the person, someone else breaks your boundaries. What does that get you, right? In an example, if you're going to be the person who is gripping onto this crisis and not holding your own boundaries so that you can blame it on people, that probably you think gets you sympathy, or it gets you attention or energy. And this is not a judgment thing. We all do this, right? Spirit is saying, pay attention to what you are getting from not letting this crisis go. You need to be the one to look at this. It is your job, your boundary to hold, your container to set. Okay. Stop outsourcing your boundaries to other people. Look at what it's giving you because you're getting something out of it. And until you realize what it is that you're getting out of it, you won't be able to switch something healthy for the crisis. You can still get that need met. If you need sympathy, you need witnessing, you need validation, you need empathy, community. Those are all beautiful things, beautiful things. You don't need to get those through creating a crisis or holding on to a crisis. Get met with community, get met with empathy, get met with sympathy, get met with connection through being vulnerable and being like, hey, I have this pattern that I'm getting rid of. Have you ever done this? Talk about what's actually alive. Don't hold on to a crisis because of what it's giving you. Once you know the need that it's meeting while you're holding on to it, instead of shaming yourself, switch the crisis, let it go, heal that, and let something positive and healthy meet that same need, right? Last in this spread was the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So, and it's Ace of Pentacles reversed. So we are Spirit's taking away your opportunity to continue this attachment, my love. They are taking away. Oh, yeah. And if you don't hear me, okay, hear me. After Pisces season comes Aries season, okay? Aries, remember, Emperor card is an Aries card. After Pisces comes the Emperor, or comes Aries season. If you do not let this crisis go, you're gonna go into a tower moment. Spirit will take it from you. And I don't know if y'all been around the block long enough. Um, from someone who's been doing this a minute, okay, let me tell you, if you don't let it go, if you don't listen to Spirit's nudge, and this is less a nudge, more of a smack in the ass, to let this attachment go, they will pull it from you. You're getting an opportunity in Pisces season to work through your shit, to work through your emotions, to work through this crisis, to set your own boundaries, to honor your boundaries, to hold your own container, to examine and observe and feel into what the crisis is giving to you. But my love, if you don't look at that, if you don't pay attention, and if you don't do a little bit of review, shit's gonna get real fucking weird. Okay. And the cosmos is gonna pull it from you. I promise the cosmos will pull it from you. That's not what I want for you. Please look at this, Spirit says, and look at what you're getting out of this crisis. Because I don't want you to have to go through a tower moment in Aries season. Oh my gosh, tower moments in a fire season when everything is lit up and passionate and action based and on fire anyway. Just don't do that to yourself. Please don't do that to yourself. Okay. Let's see what else. What Spirit, what are we learning? We touched on this a little bit with our challenges, but what are we learning in Pisces season? What are the things we get to learn? Someone is yelling outside. We are learning how to hear the call, learning how to channel. What else are we learning in Pisces season, Spirit, for the collective? The Star reversed. That's funny. That's an Aquarius card. The Magician reversed. Two major arcana cards, friends. And the Ace of Pentacles reversed again. Y'all saw me shuffle, okay? So we are looking here at how to we're looking here at how to transition out of a space when we are letting things go and allow ourselves to trust that it gets better even when we don't see it, right? When we pull back from the bottle, right? I usually say you can't see the label from inside the bottle. When we pull back, when we witness from above, we zoom out. Maybe it's a therapy moment. Maybe it's you and tarot, you and meeting with your spirit guides, and we see the patterns we've been living. We see the things that we've been attached to and why. We see what we're getting out of it, right? We have this moment of like, holy shit, I created that. I created suffering. I created my own suffering. I'm doing my I'm creating, but I'm creating from a byproduct of either being asleep or being in trauma, being in a coping mechanism that doesn't serve me anymore. And we have this moment that can be a little bit disheartening when we realize, like, oh shit, I have been creating this. I've been complaining about this person or this relationship. I've been complaining about my finances. I've been complaining about my space. I've been complaining about the disillusionment, the darkness, and I did it to myself, right? We have those moments when we zoom out and we realize, like, oh, I've been perpetuating this in my life. I've been doing this, right? Spirit is helping you learn that you really do create your reality, and that for those of y'all who are in this moment when you're like zooming out and you're really seeing how powerful you are, that's not always a happy situation, right? Understanding how powerful you are, understanding that you can create anything you want and that you are, in fact, always creating. You're either creating consciously or you're creating unconsciously, but you are always in a state of creation. When you see that and you realize that you have to own even the shitty things that you created, that can be a hard pill to swallow, right? There's a big practice called Ho'oponopono. If you haven't looked at it, you can look Google Dr. Levine. Um, and the practice is phenomenal. I'll put a link in the description box below to some of his work if you want to check that out. I think that's his name, Dr. Levine. Um, it's a practice of being aware that whatever we experience, we've created and we have ownership over, because if it wasn't something that we experienced, we wouldn't have created it, right? So when we go through those moments and we're zooming out and we're like, oh, fuck, this is my life. Guys, I just submitted my divorce paperwork yesterday to the courts. I'm very happy about it. But I had this moment of like, oh my gosh, this is my second divorce. This is my second time submitting paperwork that I had to get notarized to end legally a relationship that I didn't anticipate ending, right? What did I do to create this? What did I do to prolong suffering, right? And that's not fun to look at. But looking at the reasons why I stayed, looking at the reasons why I have compassion for my soon to be ex husband, looking for the reasons why I still love him, why I'm grateful for the moments we created, right? But not letting myself live there, not letting myself wallow in, oh my gosh, I created the situation that I need out of. I learned a lot, right? The purpose, what it gave me was learning a lot. Now I get to see, okay, I'm aware even more now that I'm creating my life at this level. When I move forward, when I'm creating more life every single freaking second of the day, hopefully I'm doing that mostly consciously, hopefully, right? I can be aware that I can create on purpose. The more that we are aware that we can create on purpose, the more opportunities we will allow ourselves to have. The last card that I pulled here again is the Ace of Pentacles, which we just pulled literally again, right? So we've got this card in the second spread for the day. You will unblock your opportunities when you realize that you're creating from an unconscious state. All it takes is that moment of wake up, right? Oh, that happened. And it's so easy to use the blame flamethrower, right? Because we're big in our feelings in Pisces season. I did this thing or this thing happened. Your fault, your fault, your fault. Bruh, we all contribute to the life that we're living, right? You are the number one main character of your life, whether or not you see it that way or not. You're always creating. When you realize that you're creating by default, all you have to do is wake up and you'll stop costing yourself opportunities because you will literally create from different energy. That's what you're learning in Pisces season. That's what we're learning in Pisces season, right? We're always learning things in new ways. If you're at Haven, you know that I describe growth as a spiral staircase, right? So we are all on the same fucking staircase and we're all looking out the same windows at the same lawn, right? But you might be looking at the same courtyard from the 60th level of the stairs, and I'm looking at it from the fourth. So you have a way more experience with something. Let's say you've been a parent way longer than me, you've been an intuitive way longer than me. You're going to see more of the courtyard. You're going to have experienced more of those levels, right? More of the staircase, and you're going to be looking out the window at the same courtyard, but your view is going to be higher and wider because you've lived more life than someone on a second, third, fourth 50th level, right? So all we're doing is we are continuing as we grow to walk up that staircase. You're going to be able to see the same situations from a different perspective. That's all growth is, right? That's why you can recognize people that have that same energetic signature as someone that you are not in alignment with, because you tried it once and you went, oh, that didn't work for me. And then you meet someone and you're like, oh my gosh, they feel just like da da da, or they remind me of so and so. That person shows up. Member Spirit told us to look out for that person resurfacing from your past. Remember the vibe, right? Look at it out that new level of the staircase, not the existing level of the staircase, and remind yourself what you can see. Whether or not you choose to re-engage is on you. I'm not telling you what to do. Spirit's not telling you what to do, but you need to make sure that you are aware of the reasons why it ended. Be aware of the ways that you keep yourself stuck in suffering, and let yourself create from a conscious place, whatever it is that you want to create. Okay. All right. Let's see, what else do we want to know? What are the supports that we want to call in? What are the forces of support that are going to become available for us in Pisces season? Where and what are our supports, Spirit? Ooh, Queen of Cups popped out. Okay, so that's definitely your psychic psychic vibe. This is a water card, okay? Queen of Cups. She's beautiful. This is a psychic person. Maybe this is you. This, I mean, definitely is the vibe right now, right? But this is encouraging you to lean into your relationship with your spirit guides. This is encouraging you to lean into your relationship with any sort of psychic, intuitive mentors, teachers, tarot readers. There's a lot of people around that read tarot, right? I just this past week, actually a week ago today, graduated 8 of my students out of our awakening program, our tarot certification program. They are all phenomenal readers. This is reminding you to lean into those supports, lean into the people who are there to help guide you, right? And this is leaning into you too, leaning into your team, leaning into your ability to sense and feel spirit. But don't be afraid to lean on others, right? If you have somebody that you trust that you want maybe to ask to pull cards, or you want to book a reading, get in touch with them, right? It's Pisces season. That's a good time to do it. It's a good time to get those intuitive downloads. You may notice that your own divination practice is growing and thriving and being nurtured right now. That's important too. That's a support that you can call in for yourself, whether that is self-guided or it's someone else, me or someone else that you trust to read for you. The second card that I pulled here is the Three of Wands reversed, which is I'll show it to you upright because he's cute. Okay, but we pulled it reversed. So this is a situation where we've got a lack of confidence here. When you start to feel that lack of confidence, I want you to surround yourself with an empowered woman. Okay, I don't care who it is, as long as it's somebody that you know is healthy for you. Ideally, this is a woman that has a connection to spirit. Maybe it's you, maybe it's somebody that you love. Yeah, because you're going to have a moment of doubting your confidence. You're going to have a moment of not knowing, not feeling confident in what the truth is, not feeling confident in what to say. And you're going to have, yeah, this is interesting. This is the Knight of Swords here. I see fire and air. Let me show you. This is a wild looking card. Yeah, this is reversed, but let me show you. I was just making sure that the elemental symbols are right on the top. So we have fire here and we have air here. What I want you to pay attention to with this card reversed is this moment of not being confident in the new channel that is unlocking for you. There's truth that wants to come for you. There's insight that's trying to come for you, and it's probably going to feel awkward at first. You're not going to feel like you know really what to do with it. This kind of circles back to our first spread. That is where that person who is intuitive can come in. Like I said, this can be another person, someone that you trust, or it can be your spirit guide, your spirit, like your principal guide, your spirit team, if you're connected with them. If you're not, book a reading with somebody that you trust, whether or not that's me. You're going to get downloads. You're not supposed to know what to do with them. And also, what this is about the download itself. You're not confident in what you heard, you're not confident in what came in, you're not confident in the way that your gifts are growing. You're not confident in maybe the things you need to say or the things that you're receiving as a channel. Lean into that supportive person. Likely they are femme of center, could be a dude, could be masc of center, but it would be, if it's a masculine person, they are very highly connected to spirit. This is somebody that you trust, number one, that's not going to bullshit you, number two, and number three, they have a legitimate connection to the divine. They're a divination queen, and queens can be any gender, right? Yeah, death card reversed. Scorpio card reversed. Let me show you. He's cute. He's got the size. Let me show you upright. Death. So we've got Scorpio symbol here, right? Again, water card. So with the death reverse card, right? This is a new beginning. There's a new opening of your gifts here. And that I remember I asked about support. What are the supports that we can look for? This is a new season. A lot of y'all are having intuitive gifts that are opening. A lot of y'all are having new aspects to your intuition show up. I know of a lot of people actually who are opening their mediumship gifts. They're having their necromancy gifts show up. A lot of people are going through this emotional purge right now so that you have space to do the service work, the literal like spirit doula situation, right? You're able to deliver messages to people. You are having this emotional purge as we go from Aquarius to Pisces season and through Pisces season so that you can clear out a little bit of your boxes. Because being the priestess, being the priest, right? Being the one that channels spirit, and I'm not saying the one, right? But being one who channels spirit, you have to have capacity to feel other people's things and then also let them go. When I sit down on a one-on-one when a reading with somebody, I feel their loved ones passing. I feel their loved ones talk to me. I feel the relational tension. I feel if they had shit that was, there was animosity when they died, things that they didn't say. I feel physical responses to the way that they passed. I feel lots of emotions, right? When I sit down and someone wants to talk to their deceased mom and they miss her, that brings up emotion. I have to be able to have the emotional capacity to function that way. And so a lot of you that are opening, you're having this season of gifts, you're having this season that is really meant to support you. I don't know that it's going to feel supportive initially. That's why this support person is here, because you need to lean into the people that are connected and support you as well. But really what spirit wants you to know is you're starting a new season. You're starting a new season in your gifts. You're starting a new season in your intuition. It's not going to feel comfortable because it's new. That's okay. New things are not usually comfortable because they're new. We're not practiced at them. It's okay to be a beginner. Lean on the people that you trust to help you put the pieces together. When you get the information, when you get that breakthrough, when you get those psychic downloads, when you are wondering like, what the fuck do I do with this? Where is my intuition trying to take me? What are my spirit guides trying to say? Like, it's not going to feel normal because you're going to get information in new ways. You're going to get information in new senses. There are some of you who, it's funny, I'm hearing this, like you think that your gifts are supposed to act a certain way. They're supposed to function a certain way and they're not. And you're like frustrated about it. Why can't my gifts just be like this? And I don't feel like you're comparing to somebody because I don't feel like any other like jealousy energy, but it's kind of like, you always thought that you were a medium and you're not, or you always thought that you were a pranic healer and you're not, or you always wanted to do Reiki and it's not cementing, or you wanted to see spirit with your physical eyes and you see them in your third eye and you're like, what the fuck? Like that's kind of the energy. And it's spirit's like, you just got to roll with it, babe. Like this isn't where things stop. It's they're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep evolving, but sometimes the evolution doesn't look like what we expect, and that's the point, right? You have to trust it. I'm pretty sure I said that in our first spread too. You have to be able to trust what comes in, and you can't do that if you're micromanaging. Okay, you can't do that if you're trying to fucking micromanage spirit and my gifts are supposed to show up this way. What you're gonna do is block your intuition. And trust me, that is not something you want to do, A, and B, especially not in fucking Pisces season when you can get massive downloads that will serve your entire year. Right? It's not what we want. All right. By the end of Pisces season, let's look at an outcome. And I'm going to actually switch a deck here. Let's use, what do we want to use? Let's use Moon Witch. We haven't done this one in a minute. The Moon Witch deck by Cosmic Valeria. This here. These are giant cards. They take me an obscene amount of time to shuffle, so we'll probably do just a couple pulls with this. All right, by the end of Pisces season, come the 19th of March, what are the shifts that are going to have been made? Tell us, what does the end of Pisces season life look like for the collective spirit? What can we expect at the end of Pisces season? What does life look like? King of Swords reversed. Okay, so we're still learning how to handle new energy. Knight of Pentacles reversed. We're still learning how to honor our bodies. Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so let me show y'all these. King of Swords reversed. We're still learning how to handle truth. I feel like reminding y'all to not put pressure on yourselves to make yourselves the perfect channel by the time Pisces season is over, because that's not going to happen. Okay. I've been at this over 30 years. Not a perfect channel, will never be a perfect channel, because yay, growth, right? We always get to grow. There's always somebody more connected than us. And thank goodness, because it gives us room to be able to expand, right? So please do not put pressure on yourself to have this mastered. Please do not put pressure on yourself to know all the fucking things. It's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to start slow. It's okay to skill build, right? Like, let yourself learn things, let yourself grow. You're going to have a new appreciation for slowing the fuck down. You're going to have a new appreciation for taking things bit by bit. I feel like Pisces season is going to show you how to be slow. And for some of y'all, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to be slow, right? But like, I didn't say frozen. I didn't say stuck. I said slow. When I teach the water element at Haven, one of my code phrases that a lot of my students have adopted is that water shows us that what is moving cannot be frozen, right? If a lake, or if a, not a lake, if a body of water is moving and it's moving with enough speed, it can't freeze, right? Because it's fluid. So when we are looking at the end of Pisces season, I see a new appreciation for beginner mindset. I see a new appreciation for learning how to work with those new channels, new downloads, new insights from spirit. I also see Nine of Pentacles is the wish card. Okay. So there's some pretty significant physical manifestation that has come in. I feel like you are in a different awareness of time. You understand that things don't need to be rushed. We did pull the Chariot reversed here a minute ago. You understand that good things take time, and you understand that it's okay to incrementally let yourself bit by bit acquire what you want to acquire. You allow yourself to be a beginner in your mindset. I feel like there's a new appreciation. By the time Pisces season is over, you have more of what you want. You have more of the things that you're asking spirit for. You have more of the things that you are trying to manifest, because you are manifesting them. I do think too that I mean, look at her position. I'm just looking at the way that she's, you know, acknowledging her garden, right? She's there and she looks contemplative, right? This Nine of Pentacles is the wish card, but I also feel like this is really a review, like a sitting and a rootedness, and like, I created this life for myself. I wanted this, and I am seeing the evidence of it being here. There's some pretty good call in of resources. Remember that pentacles are the tangible. They're about what we possess, what we can touch. So I want to encourage you around really paying attention to your body, paying attention to the way that your body is feeling emotions, the way that your body is holding on to crisis, the way that your body wants to let go of it, the way that your body feels when that person shows back up, right? I want you to pay attention to the living, breathing antenna that is your body. That is very, very important in Pisces season because we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. You picked coming into a body to be able to experience sad, happy, laughter, touch, play, pleasure, pain, all of it, right? You're here on this planet to experience that. You really come into a new level of the relationship between your ability to process and channel and inhabit energy in your body in Pisces season. I really think there's a new relationship with you and your body, and specifically the way that it relates to energy by the end of Pisces season. Interesting. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, we are going to switch decks because that was apparently the only spread for this deck. Sometimes, y'all, when I do private readings, I try not to switch decks a lot in collective readings because it eats up time. But I also listen to Spirit. Sometimes in private readings, they will switch decks 3, 4, 5 times. It's ridiculous. All right, we're going to switch to the Lenormand deck, which I don't normally read from on collective readings, but we're going to do it because, again, I listen to Spirit. Lenormand deck, if you haven't ever read from one of these, is a similar card style. These ones from the Intuit Oracle have a zodiac symbol, can you focus, and a number, plus a picture, a name, and some keywords. So Lenormand decks are typically read, and there's 180 cards in here. Okay, this is more than double the size of a standard tarot deck at 78 cards. So these are normally read in a little bit of a story format. If you've never played with Lenormand decks or divined with them, maybe that's something that you get to learn in Pisces season. Let's ask Spirit what your steps are. What are your next steps for Pisces season? One of the people here live says, I made a point to hammock today, and that was the first card. Yeah, that's where I split the deck. How funny is that? I love that. I love this deck. I have another one of their Lenormand decks as well. Both of their Lenormand decks, and they're phenomenal. Okay, so here we've got, I just flipped 3. Uno, dos, tres. Let's see. Okay, how cool. I love this. Okay, your next steps is what I asked Spirit for. So this is funny because we just pulled the 9 of Pentacles, right? Which is the wish card that I said. I pulled rainbow. Look at that first keyword, wish granted. Okay, this is Cancer up here, remember, and 9. 9 is the numbers of wishes granted. It's also the number of spiritual light work. Okay, we've got Cancer energy, which is very much, would you focus, which is very much a water sign, right? So what I see here is that there's good things coming, right? We know that there's good things coming. Your wishes are coming. Do the things that are adding to the kind of vibe that you want. Underneath, you guys, I wasn't planning on showing you this because I haven't read it, and I don't normally recommend books that I haven't read. But I just bought this, okay? This is what I am focusing on in Pisces season, more connection with angelic energy and more connection with money. It's funny that this came up because with this rainbow card, Spirit is telling me to remind you to do the things that are bringing toward you the life that you want. If you are wanting to travel, make an itinerary. Doesn't mean you need dates on it. But let's say you want to go to Japan, you want to go to Greece, you want to go to Turkey, you want to go to Ireland, right? Go look at the cities you want to go to. Go make a fucking Google Doc, right? Spend time in that energy. Spend time living in that space. Well, you don't need dates. You don't need to go look at flights, right? But spend time like in the energy of paying attention to what it is that you want. And it will bring that toward you, right? Upstairs in my bathroom, I have the Abraham Hicks book, Ask and It Is Given. If you haven't looked at Abraham Hicks and they resonate with you, go check them out. I happen to love Abraham Hicks, Esther and Jerry. Jerry was awesome. I love Esther. they talk a lot about the same thing that I was explaining about the vortex with Ho'oponopono. When something is in your vortex, you are meant to experience it. If you weren't supposed to experience it, you wouldn't be dreaming it, right? If you weren't supposed to experience it, it wouldn't be something that you want. The fact that you want it, that you're putting energy towards it, means that it is in your vortex, and it's up to you to put attention on it so that it grows. We know at Haven, where we put our energy and our attention expands. So step one of things you need to do things that bring towards you the things that you want, right? If you want to travel, but you're like, airplanes, I can't look at, itinerary. I don't want to research. I'm going to make myself want it more. Yeah, okay. Like make yourself want it more. Like, why is that a bad thing, right? The next card is the slingshot. There is a big ass fucking trajectory shift coming, right? I've told you that with your intuition. But here, like this, instead of reading this really as tension and anxiety, the first things that I see here, I really see like there's a change, right? This is a slingshot is not a slow momentum situation. And this is another Aries card, right? So this is pushing you into change. It's a 5 card. Okay. We look at numerology here. It's what I teach when I read tarot too. We got Aries and we have a 5. There's a big change here. There's passion, there's desire, there's energy. When you start doing the things, my love, that are bringing that energy that you want towards you, ooh, I'm starting to get hot. When you bring that energy towards you, you are going to be able to slingshot yourself into more of the life that you want. You're going to see expansion around the things that you're calling in. You're going to see that, like, I hear the word catapult. Like it is a slingshot, but it's a slingshot. This is funny that Spirit is drawing this out for me because you think about a slingshot, right? You are both of these hands. If you're using a slingshot, you are the one holding the slingshot and holding the thing back and firing, right? When you're on a catapult, you go sit in the bucket, the receptacle, right? And then either a force of time or someone else has to hit it and you're launched forward. This is really a catapult is what I'm seeing. Like, yes, a slingshot, but there's a level of surrender and a level of trust that you have to put your attention and energy on the things that you want and the things that you're trying to call in, that you are calling in. The things that feel good, Cancer, right? The things that are nurturing to you, the things that you really want, nurture the things that you want, and Spirit is going to catapult you forward. It's going to happen faster than you think. And the last card I pulled here is Universe, right? So this is, again, Scorpio. This is another water card, okay? This is what I feel here. I don't remember what movie this is. Maybe it's Harry Potter when they're on like the beach of time. Yeah, it is because it's Dobby. Ooh, big sad. When they go to that beach of time, right? They go to that wide expanse and they're in that sort of like liminal space. They're walking on the beach. Um, it's that I've actually been there in the ether, right? It's that expansive space. It's that infinity, that limitlessness that you and I sometimes forget that we are a part of, right? When we forget that we are a part of everything that we experience, we are creating it, we are calling it in, we are pulling it in, we are being about it. And so it's coming into our vortex, it's coming into our energy. When we forget that, that's the moment that we create unconsciously. We create a sleep, right? And so then we have this moment where like, oh my God, I zoomed out, star reversed, right? We pulled that. Oh my God, Mercury, not Mercury, magician reversed. I've been creating by default. I haven't been creating awake. I haven't been creating consciously. Instead of moving that into shame, move into remembering that you are part of everything that exists, that you are limitless, that you are part of the universe. You can have what the fuck you want. You can have what you want. So start doing things that bring you toward the things that you want. Curate the energy of the things that you want. And I want you to be aware that doing that will catapult you into a new existence because you can have everything that you want. Thank you, Spirit. Let me shuffle these. What else are our next steps, Spirit? What are you? Doing what you want, allowing yourself to call in the things that you have manifested, allowing yourself to receive the things that you have manifested. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, interesting. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, so yeah, we've got some more fucking Pisces energy, you guys, with this 4. And this is the scuba diver card. This is the card of depth, right? Now, I love scuba diving. I love the water. I mean, typical Pisces, right? But like, I love marine animals. I hang out at the aquarium all the time. That's totally, if you know me, you know that that's my scene. If I go missing, look for me at the bookstore or the aquarium. Okay. I'm one of those places, if not Hawaii. And that's because of the water. Okay. So scuba diving, I use a scuba diving metaphor when I teach tarot a lot, because you can know that you need oxygen. You can know that you need flippers. You can know that fish live under the surface, that coral lives under the surface, that sharks are under the surface. That does not replace the experience of going scuba diving. You can watch a scuba diving video on YouTube. That is not the same thing as having the lived experience of strapping a fucking tank and probably weights so you can sink into the water, right? Seeing sharks, seeing manta rays, seeing coral jungles under the water, right? It's not the same. Learning about it and experiencing it is not the same. When I see this scuba diving, right? This is you traversing the watery depths. Literally a fucking Pisces card. You guys, I can't make it up. This is you going into your inner depths, you looking at that crisis that you won't let go of and what it's giving you, you looking at the emotional situations, people, cords that you will not let go of, you will not remove, right? Why are you letting them live rent free in your head? In order to answer that question, and I'm not saying like, why are you letting them? I'm saying like, if you're wondering why, that prompts self-inquiry, right? If you're someone interested in growth, someone interested in tarot, someone interested in learning more about what spirit has to say to you, that takes self-reflection, my friend. It takes you being willing to dive in your depths and see what is alive, right? Go look under the surface. Literally, go have the experience. You can ask people for support. You can ask your psychic friends for support with that Queen of Cups that I pulled. But there's an element of, remember that Emperor reversed. You have to be the one to hold your boundary. This is not about you blaming or outsourcing your boundaries. You have to be the one to hold your own container. Okay. The next 2 cards here are interesting because as I'm talking about going, these all pulled out together. Before I tell you what they are, they all pulled out together. I'm talking to you about your depths, right? I'm talking to you about going under the surface and seeing what's there. I mean that emotionally, but I also mean that in reference to your gifts, right? I asked Spirit about what your next steps were. The 2 things that I pulled, you guys are going to freak out, I swear to God, are urn and telephone. Okay. This is mediumship. Okay. You're gonna hear either from your friend that's a medium or your mediumship gifts are showing the fuck up. And also, did you see that these 2 are both Cancer cards? Do you see this right here? Cancer symbol. And right here, Cancer symbol. Okay, so 2 water signs. Just all 3 of these are water cards. Okay. And remember, our 3 water signs are Pisces, which is current, Cancer, and Scorpio. Cancer is like July, end of June, beginning of July, and Scorpio is end of October, beginning of November. You've got some serious mediumship gifts here. Okay. I really feel like these 2 together, there's some communication that's coming from your loved ones. If there is a Pisces season, like death anniversary, if there is, what in the world is this? If there is somebody that you're wanting to hear from that has passed, I feel like they're gonna want to say hi. Pisces season is a big season for mediumship energy. Along with that, we've got the telephone, right? We've got literal communication. We've got spirit energy. We've got the call from the other side of the veil. There have been entities that have shown up at houses. I worked an exorcism yesterday and I'm going to help someone at Haven plan an exorcism for their house. There's been ghost interference, poltergeist interference, but also like positive interference. And I'm using interference in quotes, right? There have been loved ones that are reaching across the veil. There have been people who are deceased who are making their first contacts. They've been in the ether for a little bit of time, have had enough healing, and now that the veil is thin, specifically Pisces season, they're able to pick up that telephone and call you or call your medium friend and say, hey, I want to talk to my person. I want to talk to my bestie. I want to talk to my love, my kid, my grandbaby, whatever, right? They want to talk to you. So as your gifts are expanding, and this is funny, mediumship is coming up so much. I want you to be aware of those signs and symbols, right? You will notice those as you dive deep into your own subconscious, but you're also going to notice them. I feel like you're going to start to see that information in new ways. Like I said, you're going to, maybe you never see angel numbers and all of a sudden you see angel numbers, or you're paying attention. Excuse me, hiccups. Yeah, this is important. Thank you, Spirit. You're wanting to, they want you to notice. They want you to really work on being aware and being present, not maybe necessarily knowing what everything means, but catching it, right? So maybe, like I said, you're not a spirit numbers person, and like all of a sudden you start seeing 444, 555, 1234, 101, 1111, right? You start seeing it's 1114 right now on the clock. You start seeing those numbers in duplicate, triplicate, quads, right? You start seeing those numbers. Or maybe you have never paid attention to color magic, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm paying attention to color magic. I see red everywhere. I see pink everywhere. I see, you know, yeah, I see natural, like earth-based things. Like I'm looking right now, I'm looking at a tree. Shout out to the Twisted Woodland. One of our students, Kate, made this Monstera tree for me. I'm looking at that, you know, Monstera leaves are something that I love. And a lot of my students have sent me Monstera things because they know that I love them. Every time I see a Monstera plant, whether it is a faux plant, like a wire wrapped plant, right? Or an actual Monstera leaf, I think of my students. The only reason why my students know that I love that is because I've paid attention to Monsteras and I've communicated to my students that I love Monstera plants, right? Like I'm a plant queen. I'm currently working on outfitting my house, my new house, and a bunch of plants. My point here is know what spirit is. You will know what spirit is communicating because you will start to see it in new ways, right? At Haven, we have a literal Discord channel for disco balls. People know at Haven that when they see a disco ball out and about, that is spirit winking at them saying, hey, tap, 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 I have a message for you, right? So we have a literal thread, and there are probably hundreds of pictures, videos, ads, screenshots of disco balls showing up all over the place in real life, on shelves, at a rave, like tons of disco balls, because my students are present and aware. They're looking and realizing, oh, that's a disco ball. I'm present. I'm in my body. I'm noticing spirits talking to me. I might not know what spirit is saying, but I recognize the sign spirit. Ding, ding, ding. I can hear you talking to me, right? So as you are looking at your gifts expanding in high level ways right now, I want you to know that those pieces of information are going to come in new ways. Trust the things that you see on repeat. If you're seeing Monstera leaves all the time, write it down. This is why we document, right? If you're seeing disco balls, if you're seeing maybe all of a sudden you're paying attention to like planetary alignment. You're really into zodiac. You're really into chakras, right? Maybe that's something that's showing up for you. You're really into tarot. You're really into fuck the patriarchy, right? Like if you want to pay attention to things and you want to hear what spirit's saying, look at the things that are repeated, right? They're going to put that in your vortex over and over. All right. We know a little bit about what we need to do. I feel like it's 11:17. We're going to ask more. I feel like there's more steps. Very Pisces season. Normally these readings are like 40, 45 minutes. We're going on an hour and 13, and we got a little bit more. Spirits, like we're not done. Oh my gravy. I'm not reading 30 card spirit. Try again. Not reading these cards. This is okay. So this is funny. This is an actual lived example, right? For those of y'all who have taken Awakening, our tarot program, I get asked a lot, well, what if I drop a bunch of cards? What if I drop one or two or three? What does that mean? Versus if I drop, I mean, the stack that I just dropped was probably this many cards, right? That's a mundane thing. My hands didn't make the shuffle. That wasn't spirit asking me to read 30 cards. Okay. You trust yourself. But usually in those moments, even if I can't figure out a mundane reason why the cards dropped, I will tell spirit, I'm not reading 30 cards for this. You need to condense the message. And they will. And usually they laugh. Ha ha ha. We didn't get her this time. They're so funny. They play with me. All right, spirit, for the collective, give me another action. What's another step that they can take? Listening to themselves, paying attention to their body. Of course. Okay, let's see. This is so funny. Ooh, interesting. Okay, we have a Leo card, a Pisces card, another Leo card, and then a Libra card. Let me take a peek here. This is interesting. Okay, so this has some wild energy. The first card here is declaration. Okay. And this is less about, I know that this is a declaration of independence, obviously, right? But this is more what I heard is the word petition. So this is being really clear with your words. This is about Mercury retrograde coming. And the reason why I have that confirmed is because the second card is Sapphire, right? Also, I flipped this because typically you do not read Lenormand cards upside down. Up to you how you want to do it, but typically Lenormand cards are only read face up. So really what I'm seeing here, less about the sapphire, more about the confirmation of Mercury energy, blue, communication, throat chakra. Sapphire is also the one of my favorite gemstones, honestly, because it represents this really beautiful spiritual power. It's almost like lapis. What I want you to think about here is the way that you are honoring the things that you declare. What are the things that you speak over yourself, right? There's to get for those of y'all that don't know this, I'm a pastor's kid. I literally have the Deuteronomy tattoo to prove it. I've read and studied a lot of theology in my day, okay? And I actually have our Baneful program students read scripture at witchcraft school. Oh my gravy. One of the things I want to tell you is that there is a quote that I quote from scripture, from biblical scripture, that illustrates a neuroscience point, which is funny. The witch that quotes the Bible. There's a verse in Proverbs, which is a book in I believe it's the New Testament. I should know that. That says, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. Meaning that what comes out of our freaking pie holes, okay, is representative of the energy that we're holding in our bodies. So whatever you're declaring, if you're that person that is like, I am always sick, or I don't like this, or you're focusing on behaviors that you don't like, you are, I can't, it never, you are going to manifest more reasons to continue saying that. So Spirit's telling you with Mercury retrograde coming up, it starts on the 25th of February, there is this opportunity, and I'm using that word very, very intentionally. Spirit's putting it in italics in my brain, okay? There's an opportunity that you have, which literally, when I see things in italics, that's Spirit saying, like, this is not fate. This is you have autonomy and choice and free will. You can choose the opportunity. You can give the opportunity the middle finger and be like, I'm not doing it. And that's your prerogative, right? They're not here to force you. Your guides cannot force you to do things. They're asking you to be really careful about your words. What is it that you're declaring over yourself specifically? If you're saying, I'm not intuitive, I can't hear spirit, I am not connected, I can't, I won't, I'm not, I face blocks all the time, I'm always upset, I'm always blocked, I'm always confused. Stop. Literally stop. Like, they're telling you what you declare is so fucking important, because it will affect your energy, right? So catch yourself with the things you say. Out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. You have to pay attention to what you're saying And that can be a way for you to get insight into what's going on. Watch yourself, watch the things that you say. If you're like, I'm going to watch myself, so I'm going to like, for those of y'all who have autism, okay, I get it. I'm ADHD. Okay. So if you're like, well, now that I'm paying attention to it, I don't have an accurate read of what I've been saying. How do I know what I've been saying before I pay attention to it? Go look at your text messages. Go pick up your phone and look at your text messages and see the kind of stuff that you've been texting. Look at your last 5 text messages, your last message to the last 5 people you texted, not to companies, not to opt into shit, but the actual people. Go look at this is spicy from Spirit. Go look at the last 5 messages that you sent, the last message you sent to the last 5 people. Those words, if those words are not representative of the person that you want to be, then you need to change your words, because this is about petition. This is the declaration. This is not a political thing this time. Like you guys know, I read cards different ways based on the context, based on what Spirit's saying. This is you declaring what you want for your life. You get to choose if that's awake or asleep. Ooh, Spirit. The last 2 cards that I pulled here. Okay, so for context, that's a Leo card with a 7. This is a Pisces card with a 1. Or not a Pisces card, excuse me. That is a Gemini card with a 1. This is a Leo card. Okay, and then we've got a Libra card here. Whoops. Okay, Libra and 7. Can you see that? There we go. So Declaration Sapphire, Weight of the World, and Biker. Okay, you are feeling the effects of the declarations that you have made. You get to decide if that's good, bad, or indifferent. One of the things when I look at this biker dude, like not only is he a silver fox, absolutely would tap that. Ayo. But what I see here is the energy of the rebel, right? Even though this is a Libra card, right? Libra energy is diplomatic. Libra energy is beauty focused. Libra energy is creative. It's also an air sign, which we have matching here with this sapphire card, with this Gemini card, right? Communication, energy. But really, with this Libra card, you think about the biker community and how the bikers typically, I'm making a generalization, bikers tend to go to bat for people who are marginalized. Bikers tend to be humanitarian. Again, I'm generalizing. There are exceptions. But when I see like bikers, driving, organizing a I don't know what they call them, a brotherhood, this is so not my scene, Spirit help. They organize a ride, they organize a group, a family of bikers. They're literally like a brotherhood. They will drive a bullied child to school, or they will ride alongside with someone, give someone an escort, a bike escort to terminate a pregnancy. They will, they allow themselves to show up big for people who are marginalized, people who have faced adverse experiences, right? They are generally, bikers are people who show up to balance the level of respect based on the energy that they command, right? They might look really threatening, they might look intimidating, but they choose to use that power most of the time to help people that are disadvantaged, marginalized, hurt, that need it, right? And so what I want you to see here is Spirit is telling you to be careful about the things that you say, because you are going to be that person that helps bring the energy to people who are facing really hard shit. You are welcome to being an intuitive, my love. The way that you have to get in with 2 feet, the shit that's going on in the world, the ick, the muck, the disadvantage, the necessary exorcism sometimes, the unfairness in spiritual communities, the spiritual teachers that piss me the fuck off that say that like fear and anger are low vibration and you don't need them. Like you don't see it that way. These gifts that are showing up that are evolving are teaching you new ways to be really fucking particular about what you declare about yourself. That's why the review is important. When you start to clean up your speech, and I don't mean clean up because it's bad, I mean clean up as in be more intentional. When you start to be more intentional with the things that you say, you start to illuminate and look at the communication that you're having, you will start to also see the ways that the world is not fair. You will start to see people who are disadvantaged more than you do now. You will start to witness the collective ick, right? Stress. You will start to witness the things that we do as humans that keep ourselves stuck, and you will be called upon, okay, to be that bridge, to be that balancing scale, to bring this fierce level of channeling energy command, magic, if that's what you want to call it, the ability to direct energy in the cosmos. You're going to be called upon to help those people who are carrying the weight of the world. That's priestess energy. That's priest energy. Welcome to high priestess time in Pisces season. So they're telling you a little bit of like the reason why, which is funny because spirit doesn't usually do that. You need to be careful with the words you're saying. And this isn't just like teach. If you're a student at Haven, you usually call me teach, but this isn't teach or Telia telling you watch your words. This is spirit. Like there's big things that you're meant to do. Those big things start with you self-auditing your energy, making sure that you are in alignment between your heart and the things that it says, making sure that the words that come out of your face are actually representative of who you want to be and become, making sure that you are able to accurately represent the things that you want. Because if you're over here in my ear saying like, oh yeah, I want all these things, teach, and then to your friends or in your text messages, no, life is so horrible. Spirit's not going to be able to move you the way that it needs to move you to get you where you need to go. Okay. Let's wrap up. We got 4 minutes until I'm going to kick it at 90 because this has been a long reading. How do we keep this energy sustainable, Spirit? How do we develop a regular connection with you? How do we develop for the collective? How do we maintain spiritual connection through and past Pisces season? What do we need to do to maintain this? Because connection isn't just a one-time thing, right? Yeah, connection isn't just a one-time thing. Connection is an ongoing thing. Okay, so I pulled a Virgo card, a Scorpio card. We have a 5 and an 8. And we have the biker again. You guys watched me shuffle. Holy geez. Okay, so first card I pulled is a headache. Okay, look at the poor baby. When you start to channel, this is important. Okay, you can notice something called ascension symptoms. This means you might feel lightheaded. You might have a literal headache, right? Your body's giving you signals. You may have, especially with Pisces season, you may have a lot of tears. It's very wet, right? You may have a lot of tears. You may be crying a lot or may have just come out of a period of being really emotional. That is something that's really important to pay attention to because your body is communicating, right? When I have somebody cry in a one-on-one session or if I'm teaching, I say that tears are just emotional sweating. Okay. It's literally your body will release cortisol through tears if you cry from stress. Under a microscope, your tears from stress look different than your tears from sadness. Your tears from sadness look different than your tears of grief. If you haven't checked out any of that, go look at Dr. Emoto, Emoto, his work on the molecular structure of water based on vibration. So fucking cool. Go look it up. Science, very neat. What I want you to know though is that your body is an antenna, like I said. And so when you are pulling in this new energy, know that your body can get dysregulated because you're channeling and funneling more energy through your body than what you are maybe used to. You're doing it in ways that are different than what you're used to, and you need to make sure that you are honoring your body first. So if you are sick, if you are dysregulated, if you've just come home from a really shitty day at work or you had a fight with your partner, right? Take the time to regulate. There's tons of videos that I've done on Facebook tons of videos that I've done on YouTube on how to grounding protocols. We have meditations that are available at Haven if you want them. I'll put links in the description to help you get into an intuitive space. Take care of your body first. Are you eating? Are you sleeping? Are you getting enough water? Did you get sunshine today? Did you hug something? Um, are you out of integrity with anybody? Have you told the truth? Basic, but not so basic, like human body things you have to take care of first before you take care of energy, before you take care of doing magic, doing spell work. Um, Somebody ask a question and I will write you a full response in Haven. But asked about being sick and doing spell work, right? This fits right in. As you grow your gifts, you're going to have experiences where spirit helps your body acclimate by giving you a sit down, right? One of my team members, one of my staff members at Haven, told me this last week. They were like, hey, you need to remember to take a break because if you don't and you push it too hard, your body will sit you down. And they were right, right? Like this is why I have good people around because I feel great. I'm not sick. And if I want to keep myself feeling great, that's on me to make sure that my body is sustainably healthy, right? So know that as you expand your gifts, you may have some physical symptoms, ascension symptoms. You can Google that, but typically it's things like you can have vertigo, you can have headaches, you can feel lightheaded, you can be sleeping more, you can also be sleeping a lot less. I tend to sleep a lot less during the full moon, like the day of, day before, day after. It's just part of naturally how things work. So know that that's part of it, right? Sustainability means keeping up on your basics. Make sure you have enough water. The next card that I pulled is Empty Nest. Okay, this is a Scorpio card. The last card was Virgo. This card is a Scorpio card, and what we've got here is an interesting change, right? When we think about empty nest, we think about kids that are grown and they finish high school and they move to college or move across country or they enlist or whatever, right? This is a reminder that you cannot always walk this path with other people. There are going to be seasons in your intuitive walk where you have to remember to take time to yourself. Not everybody needs every message that you receive. Not everybody is open to receiving the messages that you receive, even if the messages are for them, right? If I get a message for you, I still have to ask you consent to deliver it, right? So know that there's going to be, with an empty nest, there's going to be changes coming. Really, I mean, it's when I see Scorpio, this is still an emotions card. I have the hiccups. My gosh, spirit. This is, yeah, what I hear. It's funny that I'm going to say this because I just told this to my awakening students last week that I'm kicking them out of the nest, which is funny. Spirit's like, This is you choosing to trust yourself, right? As you are in this period of making this sustainable, of getting into this relationship with spirit, of learning how to channel more effectively, of continuing to get the downloads and then channel those, whether that's in a YouTube video, a tarot reading, your grimoire, I don't care. Document it though. This is about you choosing to fly the nest, not you living in an empty nest, but you choosing to fly the nest, you choosing to trust yourself. There is a change, right? I mean, that's the slingshot, right? You are getting catapulted out of the nest. You're not able to stay in your little bubble anymore because you know that you're called to something bigger. You choose when you're going to jump out of the nest, right? With your own journey, with your intuition. But you've got to be able to trust yourself because, my love, no one is going to do it how you do it. You, again, that same biker card, right? You are a unique individual. I tell this to my students all the time. You could have read these exact same cards completely a different way, and it would have been perfect for the collective that you were addressing because you are meant to read, to hear, to channel. Holy wind. Yeah, you're meant to have that energy of truth come in a way that is unique to you, right? This reminds me, even though this is a Libra card, it reminds me of Aquarius, another air sign. When we're having that rebellious energy, we know that the rebel is one of our archetypes for Aquarius season. This is very much like you need to do it your way. But if you continue to stay in this safe space, you continue to keep yourself in this little nest where you're comfortable, you're not going to be able to go travel and adventure. You're not going to be able to have the experiences that you want. You're not going to be able to have the things to connect with the people that you want, to have the growth that you want, to learn the things that you want, to use the skills that you're developing. So, as you're making this sustainable, you need to pay attention to your body. You need to honor the fact that it's time to fly the nest. And you need to remember that the reason why you're flying the nest is because your particular energy is needed, right? You're here to bring your version of beauty to the world, calling in that Libra archetype that we worked with in October, right? You are here to call in your beautiful life. You're here to do it the way that you're supposed to do it, not the way that I'm doing it, right? I tell my students all the time, I will show you how, but I'm not going to show you the only way how, right? I will teach you how to get to spirit. You will channel the way that you need to channel. I'm not here to teach you how to parrot. I'm here to teach you the skill so you can develop it and move forward in the way that spirit wants you to. This is an energy of really of helping yourself to do the thing the way that you are called to do it. No one is called to do it like you're called to do it. You got to honor yourself. Okay. Last card to wrap this up. Let me pull these. Thank you, Spirit. Let's do an overall single card. Well, should I say single and they're going to pull 3 or something? Single card to wrap this in a bow, Spirit, for the collective. What is the final message of encouragement for the collective for Pisces season? Huh? Oh my gravy. I could not make this up, you guys. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, so we have got, yeah, the eclipse. Eclipses are massive times of change, right? Eclipse, we have a solar eclipse literally yesterday on the 17th. We've got a lunar eclipse coming on March 3rd. We are in that period in between eclipses. Eclipses are times of change. Eclipses are times when things are transitioning. An eclipse is a period of reset. It's a period of realignment. It's a period of, and especially being in between two of them, just about 2 weeks, a little bit shy of 2 weeks apart. We've got a pretty serious Pisces season. We've got a pretty serious Pisces season with a lot of revelations coming, right? A lot of the energy is not fucking around, right? A lot of very, very potent astrological, astronomical, cultural things. With Ramadan starting, with Mardi Gras yesterday, we've got a lot of high octane, high intensity energy, plus the eclipses, plus the new moon, plus the beginning of the year of the new lunar year of the year of the fire horse. There's a lot here. There's a lot here. This is something that I want to encourage y'all, because we've got eclipses can be a time of change. They can also be a time of revelation, and those revelations aren't always happy. So be mindful in the way that you take care of your body. Be mindful and lean into your supports, lean into those intuitives that are there to help you when you are not confident about how to handle what it is that you're handling, when you're not confident about how to navigate what you're handling. This is a card of duality, right? You see the 2. This is a card of union. It's a card of darkness and light, right? We need all of it. So Pisces season is calling you to look at the things that you maybe have been ignoring, that you maybe have let fall into the background, the things that you have let live rent free in your head. It is time to look at those so that come Ostara, come Aries season, come the 20th of March, you are able to sink your teeth into the drive and passion and flow of Aries season when things kick off. It's fire time, right? When you are going to be motivated. Spring is here. Let's go. This time before that, use this time to get the information, the insight, not to act on it, but to get the information and the insight that you need to set yourself up really for the year ahead, but specifically, I would say for through the end of summer for the next 6 months, probably until end of July, maybe early August, like Leo season. Um, I would say that this is going to be, it's going to be really big. Okay. I love you. Thank you for being here. This was a long reading. I appreciate you. Happy Pisces season from my Pisces sun self to you. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you want a personal reading, my link for booking is below. I have half-hour and 1 hour readings. I'm also going to list mediumship readings on my calendar. So by the time you see this on the replay, they will be there as well if you want a focused mediumship reading, since that's been loud today. But I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Spirit, for helping me channel. Happy Pisces season, guys. Thanks for being here.